What's up, Victoria? It's me, Victoria, and today we're going to reflect on the purchases I made in November of 2024. This is a series I do every month on my channel, and I like to reflect on things that I bought a year ago to see how I feel about those products now in this moment. I have found that with the work that I do here on YouTube and in my personal life to move away from being so consumption focused with my makeup is when I reflect on purchases and I really get down to whether or not purchases are considered good, and I have a couple of different things I look for when I consider something to be a good purchase. It just really helps me not make mistakes moving forward, because when I find a mistake, it's like, what can I learn from that bad purchase? And that's what I like to do. So if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. I do a lot of work unpacking makeup marketing, makeup consumption. We do it all here. So if this is something you're interested in, stick around. In the pinned comment will be links to donate to some food banks in the greater Pittsburgh area, and then other links that are important. So if you happen to have any additional money and want to support a good cause, please choose one of those links down there, or another good cause that you could donate to. I'm on Patreon and I have channel memberships. Those are linked down below if you're interested in. No pressure though. Okay, the first thing I bought in November of last year, which I think I participated in the Sephora sale. I'm not quite sure. No, when was the Sephora sale? I don't remember. First thing I bought last year, I think the Sephora sale happened around the same time last year. Maybe happened more into November. It kind of moves around, and I definitely bought some stuff in the Sephora sale last year. And I think this was the first thing I bought. This is from Armani. This is their Prismaglass lip gloss, and I have it in the shade 07, which I think is like nude something. If you look in here, the windowing, it looks like I've used about half of it, which is interesting to me because I don't think I've used this enough to have warranted it. But here it is still in my hand. It's a very like thin liquid lip balm feeling formula, and it's not very pigmented, and it's also not super sparkly. I don't want to swatch it. What I've learned in this moment is I don't want to swatch it. There's shimmer particles in it, but they're so small. It makes your lips look very plumped and juicy, and also feels very nourishing for the lips. It's pretty expensive though, and I don't think I would buy another one, but I do really like this. When I think back on this purchase, this isn't something I reach for regularly, even though I do like the formula of it. It's not the first lip product I'm reaching for. I do prefer lip glosses over lipstick, and I just have reached for other lip glosses over this. I wish it kind of made a bigger impact, a bigger statement. I'm now realizing that I'm going to have to probably swatch it, but I don't want to. If I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't have bought this, and I probably shouldn't have bought this at the time, and I feel like in my heart I knew that. There was something about it that really called to me. I think I had just not that long ago, or it had been like a year since I had like a true nude lip gloss. I had a Victoria Beckham lip gloss that I really loved, and it went off on me before I could finish it, and this reminded me a little bit of it. The lip gloss I had from Victoria Beckham didn't have a shimmer in it, but it like had the same vibes. I didn't love this one as much as I loved the Victoria Beckham lip gloss. In fact, if I had to pick a favorite lip gloss formula, mine probably is the Victoria Beckham lip gloss, but I haven't had one in a while. It's been a couple years, I think, since I've had a Victoria Beckham lip gloss. Unfortunately, because Victoria Beckham is a clean brand, some of their stuff like does go off in the shelf life that they promise it will go off in, and some other things last a little bit longer and don't seem to go off. That lip gloss was starting to like smell and taste a little bit funny, and I just was like, I can't be doing all that. Like, that's not for me. I bought this kind of like, I think in its stead. The packaging is just plastic. I don't know. I just never really like won my heart in such a way. But now that I'm holding it, it was in a purse. It was in a purse. I had to go run and find it. I haven't used that purse in months. So that's how long it's just been sitting in there. Not even knowing that it was in my collection. So I think this was a bad choice. This definitely feels to me like something I bought impulsively. I don't really like regret it. Right now, I've been thinking a lot about my end of the year makeup stuff. So like, it's cyclical. It's kind of like tradition, right? So I've been thinking about my year-end declutter, and lips, I have so many lip products that I've come across this year. Like, I honestly don't even know where they all came from. Like, there's just so many lip products, and I'm not sure this really makes the cut for me when it comes to a lip product. So I don't think this would survive my declutter. We'll see. There's a lot of like colors and stuff in my lip collection that also I don't wear a lot. So maybe once I like break through that, maybe this would stick around, but it was not the smartest idea. The other thing I bought from also Armani was this eye tint. This is in the shade Frost, and I really like this. I don't know if they still sell this shade. I don't know if this was limited edition. Here I am. I'm swatching. We'll swatch the Prismaglass too. But this is just kind of like blue silver sparkles. My favorite eye look is a scattered sparkle effect, and if it's like cool toned, even better. Are we gonna get that? Are you gonna be able to see that in my hairy hand? Harry Handlin. And then I will swatch the lip gloss too, since we're now committed to the bit. So there's the lip gloss underneath. Barely has a shade on the lips, but they're both very pretty. My love affair was really hot and heavy with the eye tint. I was using it a lot, and then I don't know what happened. Like, I don't really know. It wasn't, this year has been a year full of like way more PR than I've ever gotten, and it did definitely overwhelm me in a way I wasn't truly expecting it to. This is something I'm gonna think about a lot going forward. I won't bore you with the details in this video, but like, it's something I'm thinking about, like, what does my collection need to look like to reflect the fact that I am going to continue accepting and receiving PR. I am going to be smarter about what PR I accept next year. I think I now understand this game enough to know when to accept it, when to pass on it, when to take myself off a list. That's like stuff that I've been learning just as a content creator, which is also important. But this was a selfish purchase. This was a purchase for me. Sometimes I purchase things for the channel, and that has like a different review stance. Like, what I think about that as a purchase is different than whenever I think about something about for myself. I feel like for the end of last year and a lot up into the beginning of the year, I was like using this a lot. The only thing I would say about it for me is like, it's a very demure sparkle, and I do unfortunately love a little bit of a chunkier sparkle, but I do really like it. It's a really nice thing to have. I find that they blend really easy on the eyes. I don't think they have like the best longevity, but because it's sparkle and it's sheer, if you just like tap it out, it works really beautifully. All of my favorite eyeshadows could be described as, does it have the best longevity? Really sparkly. You can tap it out and then you can just keep going with your day. And this is that kind of thing. Is it the smartest purchase for me to have bought this? I don't think so, but I don't really regret it. And I did end up buying another one of these at some point. It'll be in the next month's version of this video. I think a lot of beautiful sparkly things have come into my life this year that are more in line with the way I like my sparkle to look and are just as easy as this. But this is not something that I took lightly. Like, I do really like this. I do think I prefer my other sparkly things I bought this year a little bit more than this, but I wouldn't have known that until I bought those things. But I think this was really good for me at the time. If you are looking for a beautiful, easy sparkle topper situation, I would recommend this if this is in your budget. It is quite pricey. And I would also recommend, if you do buy this, I don't apply this directly to my eye. I would take a brush to this tip and then put it on my eye to get both the look that I like, but also the blend time that I need. I find that when you put most liquid eyeshadows directly on your eye from a applicator, it just doesn't go very well. But it hasn't become like a staple in my makeup collection. I would say that was like a very like mid choice that I made. And then the last thing I bought in the Sephora sale last year was this from Glossier. This is the You Do fragrance. This had launched, I think, right around the time that the sale went on. At least it launched in Sephora around the time. And I remember walking in, my Sephora had it, I smelled it. I actually went in with no fragrance on and I sprayed this on my body, and I wasn't trying to make like a last minute purchase, but just like looking around, seeing if I had forgot about anything that I wanted to touch. So I took my time. And when this sat on me, I actually really love this. To me, it is like in the same family as Le Labo Santal 33. It's not as strong. It's not as like, there's like something a little bit stinky about Santal that I think that is a turn off to some people, but I really like that stinkiness. I think this is less stinky. This also, I feel like, has less throw than Santal. I don't own Santal. I just thought I would buy this and it would scratch the itch. It totally has. You can't really tell when it's right side up, but I'm almost halfway through the bottle. And for fragrance, for me, that's like pretty good damage done on a fragrance. Does it have like the longest wear time? No. But I can smell it like most of my work day at home. I get whiffs of it and I think I smell really good. It's also the kind of fragrance that like if someone gets up close to you, they would be impressed with it. Not like from afar, but like if they got close to you and they had the distinct privilege of getting to smell your body. Like, that's like the kind of fragrance vibe this is. And I don't really like Glossier You, the base of it. There's something about that Palo Santo that's in it that is just like completely alluring to me. If you would have asked me when I bought these three things all at once, which one was the biggest impulse, it was this, because it was like the newest thing that had come out at Sephora at the time. But I do think this was like the best purchase I could have made. And in fact, it's the only one I don't like have any rumblings of regret purchasing, because I wear this. I love wearing it. It's just so sexy. It's so cool. I just think it's so cool and easy and chic when it comes to a fragrance. It's very vibey. If you want to hear me describe the fragrance in more totality. I did a video when I bought this. I got 3 fragrances all at once. One was PR and then 2 of them were purchased, and this is in that video. So check that out if you want to see what fragrance content looks like from me. I don't make it a ton, and distinctly because fragrance is incredibly expensive. I know there are less expensive fragrances. It's not something that I want to have a lot of. I really made my mistakes over consuming makeup and like having a bunch of makeup. Now I have a lot of makeup for different reasons because like it's like a job that I have. It's a side job, but it's still a job that I have. So like my relationship with makeup is weird in that way where it's like I have now a lot of makeup. Some of it I don't even consider to be mine because I'm just like testing it for review and telling people about it. And there's other makeup that like considered to be my makeup. So there's just like a lot of makeup in the house. But I don't want that to be the same thing with fragrance. I don't want that to be it because fragrance is so expensive. I think it has to be much more considered, even to like do fragrance responsibly and buy like little testers, decants and stuff. That can add up very quickly. But this is my favorite thing I bought in the Sephora sale. I love this. Not so expensive that I would probably immediately buy it again just to have after I finished it. But I have some other fragrances that I've been like lusting after a little bit more. Not lusting after to purchase, but like in my collection, in my fragrance collection that I have been like really feeling sensual about, but I still really love this. Every time I put it on, I'm like so happy. So this was a really good purchase and I would definitely buy it again. The next thing I bought was this. Well, it's not really this anymore. This is what mine looks like on the inside now. This is the Oric Mirage Shift palette in the shade way Daybreak. Well, that was the shade that was in it. That's the colors that were in it when I first bought it. But as you can see, I don't have the regular insides in here, so let me tell you what happened. The reason I did purchase this was to talk about on my channel. If you're not familiar with me, I don't like face palettes, and that's not like a shot at Oric or Sam. It's just simply a category of makeup that my brain doesn't like. I don't like it. I don't really like it. The only time I really like a face palette is whenever I'm traveling, but anyway, we don't need to get all into all of that. I don't even really like face palettes for that. I like to build my own, and of course, Sam did kind of build something that like leans into that. However, I thought it'd be funny if I bought this and reviewed it and tried it on my channel because everyone who watches my channel regularly knows that I don't like face palettes. And I thought it'd be really funny if I just did a video with this. And it was very funny. And here's what I'll also tell you. The video I bought this for did exceptionally well. And I think it's because I got it early. Like mine shipped quickly. It got into my hands early. And sometimes when you realize that there's no content on YouTube about a thing, if you work really hard and quickly and get it up first, I think that's genuinely what happened. Is I just happened to be one of the first people who got it and posted about it. It was like a first impressions video. It was really long. I like talked a lot about it. If you want to watch it, you can go watch it. And this was a purchase for the channel, and it did what it needed to do for the channel. That video did exceedingly well. I actually made an ROI on this. Obviously, you can tell I have gutted it and I don't use it as a face palette. But here's my vibe on this overall. There are a lot of people who really like to customize their makeup. And I think those people are very loud on the internet. And also that seems to be like something Sam likes to do. So the whole idea of this was that you had like a bunch of cream products. You could mix them together. You could use them individually, whatever. Like that was kind of the vibe. I think there's a much smaller market for that than there are people who like it. The people who want that sort of thing, I think just like speak it out loud a lot louder than people who like don't want it, because the people who don't want it or need their makeup to work like that, they're satisfied with the makeup that already exists. So they're not really looking for something like this system. So the whole idea was like you can buy replacements, but I don't think that they've launched refill pans yet, which fucks me off. If you are going to make a refillable product, the refills must launch when you launch the product, or I will not believe you until I see it. There are a lot of brands that do this where they'll be like, it's refillable packaging. And it's like, but where are the refills? Where are they? Western Atelier? I'm still talking to you. Although they did release lipstick refills, and I don't know if they've released any other refills since they released the lipstick refills. Anyway, Western Atelier's guilty of that. I give a smaller brand like Oric a little bit of a pass whenever they do stuff like that, but we're now a year out and we still don't have refill pans, I don't think. So I think that's enough time for you to figure that out if you wanted to do it, but I'm gonna guess that we won't ever see refill pans on these, which is annoying because it would be much more cost effective for people who did buy into the system and want to keep using it to buy those refill pans. Also, there's an opportunity, more customization whenever you initially buy something too, if you go down that route. I thought that this reminded me a lot of, I should keep it closed. This reminded me a lot of like what Salt New York does, but with none of the customization that Salt New York offers to you. And I found that the formulas were pretty similar, not completely different or revolutionary from what I've tried from Salt New York. There's also like Cure Whites. There's like a lot of brands that like do this like refillable cream thing if you want to do it. And I didn't feel like Oric was really adding to the conversation by making this product. And it certainly wasn't adding to my makeup life. I really like didn't like the color of the bronzer, but that would have been the only bronzer that would have worked for me out of the release. Not only that, they didn't release a very deep version, and that was a topic of conversation whenever the launch happened. I don't think they've added any shade extensions to this. So the undertone of the bronzer was a little bit green, which like some people who are like olive and have olive undertones really like whenever bronzers have a little bit of green in them. But like, I don't really care for green in my bronzer. The blush was that really middle of the road, like rosy blush, that kind of like mauvey rosy warm blush, and like that's pretty. It's pretty on me, it's pretty on most people. However, it's not super interesting, and it's like I have that and I could easily get that from some brand that isn't Oric, so like that's not really enticing to me. The highlighter, I didn't love the texture of the highlighter, and then the balm was really goopy, and I'm not opposed to using like balm highlighters or using balms to like mix with things, but that balm was like a very unpleasant consistency to me. It was like thick and gloppy, and I didn't like it. And I have actually come around to like mixing things together a little bit more and playing alchemist since I tried this. I still don't think that this kind of thing inspires me to use it. And another thing I think I would like to say is we're a year out and I see very few people still actively using this. And I think that says a lot more about this release than like my distaste for it. So anyway, if this was, I said all those negative things about it. This was a good purchase because I bought it to make the video I wanted to make with it. I made that video. That video did exceedingly well, made the money back. I don't really have much to complain about because I kind of knew when I bought this I wasn't going to like it, but that was the mindset I was going in with. And this is why I like to comment on my relationship to makeup purchasing is going to look different than yours, because you shouldn't buy something you don't like just to make fun of it. If you're not making content with it, then you're not going to make any, like, there's just like it makes no sense for you to do that. So don't do that. But for me, in this situation, that made sense. You wouldn't have known this at the time unless you were a patron or a member of mine, but I bought everything I bought for my Mob beauty review that I did earlier this year for Black Friday. That Mob purchase was definitely like a channel purchase. I was interested in Mob, but I knew I wanted to do like a brand review. Mob is one of those brands that it was like not incredibly expensive to do a full face review of what they have to offer. Having done a full brand review a couple of times, it was definitely like on the lesser cost. So I was like, that's why I really wanted to do it. It didn't feel like a big financial burden for me to do it. And also it gave me some time to like play with the Mob products because I like didn't really talk about it except to my patrons and members. Anyway, bought it to do a review video, tested the products behind the scenes, released that video earlier this year. Just like with this, the video did exceedingly well. I did not get a complete return on investment with that video, but for my content, the views are very high for that video, which is good and what you want. And I got a lot of new subscribers from that video, which is also good and what I wanted by making that video. And I also just wanted to do a deep dive Mob brand review because there are other Mob brand reviews that exist in the YouTube space. So I just wanted to do it and just like throw an opinion out there that I feel is different than a lot of people's opinions. I had a lot to say about the packaging and I was very critical of it. And I feel like I was not as impressed with some things. And that's not to say that the people who are impressed with the things that I'm not impressed with are wrong or lying to you. It's just, sometimes I feel like people need to hear at least some opposition. That way they can like really form what the experience of using that thing is. Like sometimes you just need to hear a little bit of criticism. And then with my criticism, you can make a better decision whether that is to buy it or to not buy it. There were some things from Mob that I really enjoyed. Now we're a year out. I still have 2 of the things I bought for the Mob review. I got rid of most of it just because, much like the Oric palette, it's designed to like kind of like work in palette in their like system, their packaging system. And that's just like not how I do my makeup. I like a this thing, I like a that thing, and I don't need them all to be from the same brand. I think that's really cool. if you are someone who travels and you need, or you're a makeup artist and you need things to be like compact and like consistently sized or whatever, but I'm not, and I don't need that. But there are two standout products that I tried from Mob that I still have. I love their lip liner. This is in the shade M159, and it's this purple gray brown color. I really love it. It's a really great lip liner. I love that it's sharpenable. I will say it's a short pencil. I clearly have used it quite a bit, but even when I first got it, it was still a shorter, sharpenable pencil. And then the other thing I bought that I really love, and I think is the standout product I tried from Mob, is their lipstick. This is their lipstick in the shade M102. I believe that this was a collab with Jessica Hayes. And this lip color is so bitchin', and I really love it. But not only that, I actually really think that their bullet matte formula is really good. The packaging leaves a lot to be desired on this product, and I talk about that in the review video if you want to see it. But the color is so unique, and that's like one of the things about Mob that I really liked, is that they had a lot of unique colors in some of their formulas, and I think that their lipstick formula, there was a lot of beautiful, unique shades in there. I really wanted to try Mob, and doing the review was an excuse to try Mob, and then it all kind of came together. And while I didn't love everything I tried from Mob, I did find some heaters that were, you know, for me that I really like and I would have bought more colors of. I also feel more willing to try Mob products because I kind of understand it more. So when they release something that I find interesting, if it's like a formula I think I would like from them, I will try it or will want to try it. But I think that their lip products are actually like the star of their show. I don't think that their cream eyeshadows are all of that, but they are cool. The Mob video, I think I look so pretty in too. Like not to toot my own horn, but I think I look really pretty in the colors I have on that video. And they were all the Mob products. Yeah, they were all the Mob products. So that was one thing. And I did, you know, sometimes I think about that, but I did get rid of all of the other Mob stuff. I did decluttered it to friends. And then here's the final thing. I don't think these ever really truly made it onto my channel. I bought two single shadows from Half Magic Beauty last year. I bought the shade Blushing Lizard, and I also bought the Wet Pebble shade, and those are the two most popular shades. A lot of people wanted me to try Wet Pebble specifically because of what it was. It's a brown with silver sparkles. And then Blushing Lizard was really popular, and someone I know vaguely personally really wanted me to try it, and I was like, okay, I'll finally try it. So here's the TLDR on them. They didn't have great longevity on my eyes, and specifically Wet Pebble. While it had that really interesting texture, it was so cold to touch and wet feeling. Blushing Lizard wasn't as wet feeling, but that Wet Pebble shade does kind of feel wet when you touch it with your finger. It just like had no longevity on my eyes. And the brown, I didn't like the brown. It was like warmer than I wanted it to be. And I do like a lot of shadows that have that like warm orangey brown base and silver sparkle, but there was something about that brown I didn't really care for. Plus the longevity issues. I don't always have problems with longevity issues. It disappeared, and that I didn't like. Like if it just like left my eyes altogether. There's something different whenever like there's sparkle below, sparkle above, and then sparkle caught in your crease and you tap it out. But it was like Wet Pebble just like evaporated off of my eyes. And I think it has something to do with the weird consistency of it. I have really tough eyes for makeup to last on. A lot of eyeshadows crease on me. It's like something that I just like, I will accept creasing up into a point because I just think I have just incredibly oily eyelids, and I have not found anything really foolproof unless the eyeshadow is foolproof. And so I don't always mind creasing, but it would just disappear on my eyes, and that wasn't great. And then Blushing Lizard is pretty, but I have a lot of colors like Blushing Lizard. It just like didn't stand out. And I knew someone who wanted to try Half Magic stuff, so almost as fast as they came in, they also exited. Like they weren't in my makeup collection for very long at all. Was that a good purchase? Probably not, because I didn't really make any intention of like featuring them on my channel. I definitely felt like I bought those for me because I was just tired of people asking me about them. And I was like, well, if I buy them and I have an opinion on them, at least I can say that. No, I don't. I might have had Wet Pebble on in one video. Maybe I tried it. Might be a Patreon video. I remember doing some swatch comparisons of Blushing Lizard on Instagram. It's really close to Solstice from Urban Decay. The texture is a little bit different. Blushing Lizard is like maybe a little bit more sparkly, but if you have Solstice from Urban Decay, it's like very similar to that. It was just like nothing really felt unique about Blushing Lizard. I actually immediately, like if you don't have anything like that, it would be a cool one to buy. But if you have those like purple, brown, green, shifty shadows, I don't think you like need that. And then Wet Pebble was kind of like the worst version of my favorite thing, and it's like I don't need that either. It wasn't the best purchase. It was a pretty big waste of $28, I would say. I think I bought them on sale, or maybe I bought them on the TikTok shop, which is also possible. Not my best work, but I do have opinions on them now. And sometimes that does come with this work. Sometimes you just like have to like have a base knowledge of something so that you can speak to it if someone asks you. But I will say this year, last year I feel like a lot of people were asking me to try those two, and then this year, crickets. No one really cares about that formula. I still want to get more into Half Magic. They're kind of like always a brand I'm like dancing around to do a brand review of. I have tried a couple of things from them, and nothing has really stood the test of time in my makeup collection. But I'm still interested. What does that say about me? Why am I still buying your makeup? Looking at, there was a lot of purchasing I did. Oh, I spent a lot of money on makeup. I would say we kind of did 50-50 with like good purchases and bad purchases. So to kind of just reflect real quick, I shouldn't have bought this. I don't know that I shouldn't have bought this. I'm more indifferent to this purchase. The Half Magic purchase would kind of end up being a bust, but this was good. This was good. The mob stuff worked out the way I needed it to. So I'd say mostly did good. That was a really big purchasing month. Some months I don't buy anything, and then some months are like this. And I'm not dissatisfied with it. There are times where I feel more upset when things don't work out. I don't really feel that way about these purchases. I think the one that leaves like the biggest knot in my stomach is this purchase. But everything else I'm pretty okay with how things worked out. That's gonna wrap up the video for me. If you remember what you bought at the Sephora sale last year, are you still loving it? Are you still using it? Did you use it up and replace it? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, check out that pinned comment to support those people. And I'm just gonna wrap it up here, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to follow your haute and you'll find me. And I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth. It's out.